Welcome back. Now, the Progressive People's Party's 2016 presidential candidate, Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndiom, is advocating an amendment to the country's constitution for the president and his vice to be taxed. At a news conference in Accra, the PPP founder again reiterated his call for the decoupling of the Attorney General's office from the Ministry of Justice.
Based on the Income Tax 2015 Act 896, the salary, allowance, facilities, pension and gratuity of the President in accordance with Article 68, Clause 5 of the Constitution is exempt from tax. Dr. Ndiom believes when the country's President and his vice are taxed, will encourage others to do the same.
It is important that this amendment is made to provide the moral authority on the part of the President to go after tax evaders, whether they are appointees of the President or ordinary citizens.
Dr. Ndiom is also advocating amendment of the Constitution to elect metropolitan, municipal and district executives. By law, he wants the separation of Attorney General's office from the Ministry of Justice to demonstrate strong commitment in fighting corruption.
What we're asking for is a separation. Let the Minister of Justice become the President's lawyer. Let the Attorney General's office become the people's lawyer.
Appointment of ministers from Parliament, Dr. Ndiom believes should be changed to allow Parliament to perform its oversight responsibilities.
Those who are appointed by President, how can they go and sit on the floor of Parliament and disagree with him? And then, even more importantly, those sitting there who are still hoping to be appointed by the President as ministers, how can they go and disagree with the same President?
The party also wants the NPP administration to fully implement the national identification process within 24 months.
Right, Kofi Samoa is the policy advisor of the PPP and he's joining us in the studio for a chat. Good evening, sir, and thank you very much for your time. So, Dr. Ndiom believes that the president paying income tax will encourage others to do same. Is it not obvious that anyone who takes salary pays income tax?
Well, it is obvious, but unfortunately, in this particular instance, we have the president under Article 68, Clause 5, thereabout of the Constitution, that exempt the president from paying taxes. This matter came up in the constitutional review process, and we don't have a lot of controversy as far as that matter is concerned, because even the government white paper accepted that the president who is about to exit at some point demonstrated to us that he is able to pay taxes from private earnings. What we are talking about is monies that are paid to him from the work he does for the Republic.
But do you think paying tax will make any difference to how much he earns, as in what he takes home and what goes into taxes? No, that's not the key issue.
That's not the issue as to how much the president should be paid. We have chief executives in this country. We know by some kind of research how much they are paid. The president is the chief executive of corporate Ghana. We should pay him what is due him and that what is due that office. So it's not about the amount, it's about what is adequate. But what we are talking about is a principle behind tax paying. If the president of the republic, the soul of the country, the one representing all of us for development, is not paying taxes, what moral authority would they have to come after me for me to pay taxes? And that is why a lot of people have gotten away with it. But the press conference was about developmental issues and also this urgent need for us to do some things to fight corruption. So paying taxes, National Identification Authority, amending the Constitution right now to elect metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives are all geared towards developmental issues. When it comes to the fight against corruption, there are two issues that come up readily. And that is separating the Attorney General's office from the Ministry of Justice. When we said that and we started to campaign on that line, Nana Akufo-Addo, the president-elect, and some other politicians said that they were going to
set up independent prosecutor's office.
Well, we don't know what that means, but what we are talking about is Article 88 of the Constitution. That says that the Attorney General of the Republic, there shall be one, and also he shall be a Minister of State. That is what we are worried about. Because if you state that in Article 88, Clause 1, what you are saying is that necessarily the Attorney General is not independent and is part of cabinet or part of the executive. Now, if you want to set up an independent special prosecutor, it's a bit confusing, because if you don't tackle that constitutional provision, going back again to Article 88, Clause 3, which vests criminal prosecutional powers
but
in the hands of the Attorney General.
What makes the PPP think that the NPP will not tackle this constitutional anomaly before proceeding to set up an independent prosecutor's office?
They haven't said they will do that. And that worries us, because we have a lot of special agencies, YOCO, economic crime, and so on and so forth.
Who you think can do the work of special prosecution.
Even take Public Accounts Committee, they demonstrate to us on TV that there are corrupt officials in the system. Where does it end? We watch the TV, we go home, and we are just downhearted. Nobody is taking action, because all of them, let me add the Criminal Investigating Department of the Ghana Police Service, all of them, Attorney General, who is a Minister of State, who has powers to initiate criminal proceedings.
So what you're suggesting is that the Office of the Independent Prosecutor is not necessary. Or you're saying that to set up an independent prosecutor's office, you must first tackle the issue constitutional anomaly by decoupling the Justice Ministry from the Attorney General's department.
And he must report to the same Attorney General.
Then it's working the same way.
Then you just added another YOCO, which is another establishment of another bureaucracy. It is not going to lead us as far as our bid to fight corruption is concerned.
I see. Now, Nonado has also indicated that the election of MMDCs will be implemented in 2018. What they actually mean is that they'll start the processes, referendum where necessary, and then it will be implemented. What are the positions does the
of MMDCs will happen in 2018, which supports that by the time we want to elect district assembly members, we would have started the processes, amended the Article 240 downwards, so that we can have that exercise done in 2018. If what he said is what you are telling me, that he's going to start the process of changing the rules in 2018.
No, it will be implemented in 2018.
Yes, so it means that the process will start early.
Before, yes,
so that is hopeful, it's accepted. But what we are asking, and today on another platform we had a discussion with Honorable Ayiko, who is part of the NDC MPP's legal team. And shockingly, he said that the MPP proposes to keep the appointment of the 1/3 of the members of the District Assembly. That is undemocratic. If you are electing the District Chief Executive, because I was questioning DCs, but also...
You think that it should be purely partisan?
Yes,
and that
purely
people
partisan.
Should be selected based on political party affiliations.
Yes, we can't continue
to
live under this hypocrisy that somehow politicians and political parties are not involved. So open it up for everybody. Let it be open so that political parties can sponsor candidates there. But also, when it's competitive and it's democratic, don't restrict the space. 1/3. When I did the calculation, I think there are some 6,000 electoral areas in this country, and it means that 6,000 electoral assembly members, because they represent electoral areas. That is 1/3 is 1,800 of them appointed by the president. How is anybody sitting in Accra, whether he's Nana Akufo-Addo or President Mahama, be able to appoint credible 1,800 people to represent his interests in the district assembly? Let the people elect their DCEs, including the members of the assembly. If today, in Ghana's parliament, 275 of them, no president has the power to appoint a third or a quarter of the members there, why do you want to extend that to local governance? And if you read Article 240, which is an entrenched provision, the others are not. It says in Clause 2E that as far as practicable, the people living in the local assembly area shall participate in net governance. I will want to submit that participation in net governance includes the direct election of all the members who take decisions.
Mr. Samosa, do you get the feeling, does the PPP get the feeling that the president-elect is not committed to seeing through what some of the promises he has made? I mean, you've raised key ones, the forming the Independent Prosecutor's Office, decoupling the Attorney General, Minister of Justice Department, and cancelling the tax exemptions for the president. These are key policy issues. You don't think that the president-elect has what it takes to see through his own promises?
Well, I think he has what it takes to get that implemented and get it done. All we are asking is that we need to put this on the agenda because it has happened before.
But you're not giving him time to land. There are those who say that this is too early in the scheme of things. The man is not, it's not in office yet, or?
Well, I'm not sure it's too early. From what Honorable Ayuko just said, there's some preparation ongoing. If you watch the president's conduct or the president-elect, he's trying to do all the thank you tours so that he can hit the ground running when he's given the mandate on January 7th. All that we are saying is that it shouldn't be lost on us. It has happened before. Okay. 2000 election, it was promised that it would be done. And we even in the GPRS 1, it was put there in that government-approved program, approved by Parliament, that by 2004, all constitutional legal impediment to the election of MMDC
must be removed.
Will be removed. And that is how many years? 14 years, actually 12 years after that. We are still discussing that. We need to make sure that this president doesn't...
I need to ask you one question before I go. How different would the PPP have done things if you had won?
Basically, the most important thing before we can do any of the good things we wish for this country is to change the structure by which we have instituted to govern ourselves. If you don't change that, you can do all the beautiful things. One factory,
so you would start overhauling the
Constitution, because that is the major guide, the biggest guidance to all of us. We can do all the beautiful things, one factory, one district, one village, one dam. If you don't change the election laws of MMDCs and the other inimical impediment in our governance system,
it won't happen.
It will come back to the
square one. Mr. Samuel, we're grateful for your time. Thanks for coming. Mr. Kofi Samuel is the policy advisor to the Progressive People's Party.